Last night, I went to a not conservative fundraiser, Democratic fundraiser. I talked about what conservatives have been doing lately with the veterans of this country that they created in this fake war of Afghanistan and Iraq. Let me kind of catch you up on what they were doing, like I told everyone else last night. And if you have been following the news, good for you. You know what they've been doing. For those of you who don't know what they've been doing, this is what they've been doing to these veterans, and it's awful. The first thing they did was told the ones who are already home, the ones that came back from Afghanistan, the ones that came back from Iraq, and just veterans in general, from the survivors from the Korean War, the Vietnam War, survivors from World War II, and so forth. They told them that their help or healthcare, jobs, their basic needs are an expense this country cannot afford. That is the most utter bullshit lie I've ever heard any politician say. So telling the people of this country who you sent into upon multiple fake wars since World War II, from Korea to Afghanistan, you're telling them that the help that they deserve is an expense we cannot afford? I'm not buying it. The second thing that they did that was awful was they lowered the protection of military families from financial predators. Now, if you don't understand what I mean by this, is military spouses have a hard job to do just like their spouse that's in war. And the military spouses have to make sure the kids are fed and safe at home, of course. They have to do a lot of home-based work for the military, which, what I mean by that is, if a television host wants to interview one of these military wives or military husbands, they have to do it regardless, because that's kind of their thing to do. Even if they don't want to do it, they have to talk about these issues to raise awareness of it, and I don't see any problem with that, because there are several times there's military spouses, more military wives coming on Ellen's show, and they were basically saying how financially they're struggling, and how emotionally they're struggling, worrying about if their husband or wife is safe and alright, and just the fact that these brave men and women come on these talk shows and talk about these things as an obligation, I actually applaud them, because it takes a lot of bravery to do that. And just the fact that the GOP lowered their protection from financial predators is just disgusting, because they have a hard enough time. And strike three, which should be for everybody at this point, is they lowered the military's protection from basically hostile situations. You could figure that out on your own. But it's disgusting what the GOP has been doing to the military lately. But I do want to show you a headline from LGBTQNation.com. Christian right continues to escalate their anti-LGBT threats. And that's not the only injustice in this country. If you aren't aware what happened with the thing in Texas, with the whole Pamela Geller rally to discriminate against all Muslims, well, Geraldo Rivera, I mean, I don't agree with the guy on everything, but I have more respect for him than I do Bill O'Reilly and anyone else who works at Fox, because he has his own independent radio show as well. He's making appearances on the show Geraldo at Large, which I had not seen yet. But Geraldo Rivera, if you can recall, for 11 years he had his daytime television show. And if you lived long enough, do you remember when he got his nose smashed by KKK member? Well, that's what exactly he compares Pamela Geller to, a KKK member. And what he said is the smartest thing I ever heard him say. Well, one of the smartest things he ever said, next to the Willowbrook thing, that whole story. But he's basically said what I've been saying, what every liberal Democrat has been saying. When you take a shot, including Bill O'Reilly, when you take a shot at the hornet's nest, expect to get stung. Which is, he didn't say it like that, but that was the gist of what he was saying. He basically ripped Fox News on their position of supporting Pamela Geller. And finally, Bernie Sanders on the death penalty. And this is his statement: the state shouldn't be in business of killing people. Exactly. If he gets elected president, if he gets the nomination, if he gets elected president, he's going to be one of the greatest presidents we ever had in a long time. Because he's going to break the big banks, which they should be broken. He's going to tax the rich. He's going to basically make the death penalty illegal all over. I like this guy's promises so far. Well, I'm Michael DePrima signing out for today's video.